Hey, what's up, my people? How you doing? My name is Dalton, out here in the cold, and this is Dalton My World, my YouTube channel. And yes, I have a story for you. Gotta put my mitts on. Now, this is kind of hilarious. It was hilarious. This is when I lived in Seattle. Now, if you don't know anything about Seattle, Seattle is a pretty liberal area. Okay. Nevertheless, it has its opposites, which they have skinheads, Aryan race, KKK up there, and in droves. So you don't have that many Afro Americans or Latin people up in Seattle. You have a lot of people from European countries, and you have a lot of people who are white, and you have a lot of people that are Asian, from Asian countries. All right, but you don't have that many Afro-Americans. Now, understand, there's different type of liberals up there. There's liberal conservatives up there. There are liberal racists. Yes, you heard me right. And then you have the liberals, and and then you have those who are racist, but they hide behind being liberal. Okay? Now, to explain to you a little bit more about what a liberal racist is they think they're liberal, but they're really not. Okay, I'll give you an example. One time, I got really pissed off. This guy called me an N-word, right? A couple times, and I just kept my cool. I wanted to knock him out, and I was walking home, and this other guy, I used to frequent his business. He saw me and said, "What's wrong?" I said, "This guy called me an N-word a couple times, man." And this guy who considers himself liberal told me straight up. He said, "Ain't no need to call you the N-word. You know what you are. They don't need to call you that. I just can't stand people." I was like, okay. Anyway, this is hilarious, man. This is a story about a guy. And this was around 9/11. Okay, and there was a lot of hate going on. It's kind of deja vu. There was a lot of hate going on because everybody thought that those people of that particular race all were terrorists. So there was all these campaigns going on, commercials going on, trying to express that these people are not terrorists, that they're loving, caring people, and you should not discriminate against them, and all this other stuff. Kind of like what they're doing with the Asians now, right? Well, I went to I was in college, going for computer science. Computer applications, and I went to the store, right? They happen to be owned by these particular type of race of people that crashed the planes. Okay, and I noticed that the guy, he was following me around. Boldly following me around. Acting like he was security. He wasn't security, but he was boldly following me around. And, I went in there to get me like a Coke and some chips, tie me over, before my next class so I can make it through the rest of the day. Y'all know what I'm saying. Anyway, I noticed, he was boldly following me around, Then when I go, he would follow. So, I'm sorry I'm looking back and waiting on the bus. So anyway, I stopped and I was like, is everything okay? Because I was like, what's going on? Because I had worked security before, pseudo kind of security for the school. That's part of what I did. So I thought, I'm thinking he's looking for somebody else or something. Then I realized he's watching me. And I said, is everything okay? He said, well, problem is a lot of your people come in and they steal. He said, a lot of your people come in and they steal stuff. So, I'm just making sure that, he said, you get fed up with it. So I'm just kind of making sure that, you're not taking anything that don't belong to you and all this other stuff, right? And I'm just kind of like, And all I could do was laugh, right? And it seemed to irritate him more because it didn't have the effect. What he said did not have the effect that he wanted to have. And I wasn't trying to irritate him. I couldn't help but to laugh. I mean, I was just trying to hold it in, but I was laughing and smiling. I went on and bought my stuff, and I left, and I just started laughing because sometimes stuff is so ironic and so hilarious that not even the people who are being prejudiced realize what's going on, because no matter what race, everybody was looking at his particular race like he was the villain, because of what happened 9/11. And he still, even though all these campaigns going on TV, and all these stars of his particular race on television talking about, don't look at all of us as terrorists, we're just natural Americans like you, and all this other crap, and yet he was still looking down on my race, like like I'm the one that's supposed to be, I'm the one supposed to be looking at him all slide-eyed. I mean, like he's the one supposed to be looking at me all slide-eyed when everybody else is looking at him that way. And in his mind, even though he's begging for people to understand that his people and him are not the racists, he's still doing it. I mean, I couldn't help but to laugh at the irony. It just cracked me up. And the more I laughed, and as I'm walking out laughing, I'm trying to hold it in, but I'm laughing because I couldn't express at that time what I was visualizing and seeing. And it was just so hilarious, It's like, and just seeing these campaigns and going on, trying to tell everybody, we're the Americans, we love everybody, and don't be judging us, don't do violence against us, when they were still doing it towards Afro Americans, and it's like a circle, people were doing it to them, they're doing it to Afro Americans. Some Afro Americans may have been trying to do it to other people, and I was like, no, it's gonna stop with me. I ain't gonna do it to somebody else because you're being ignorant. The circle stops here. I'm not gonna be ignorant because you're being ignorant, because I could see the big picture, and that's why I was laughing, because it was so ironic, and it's kind of like in the heat of Trump, everybody was being all violent towards Asians and stuff like that. I remember I went into this CVS up here in Pittsburgh. Alright, y'all, sorry about that. I had to catch my bus. This is part 2 of that story time. I had to catch my bus, and I knew my bus was super late. What happened is, the first bus, someone had a seizure, and there was blood involved. I'm not going into details, so they had to give us a second bus. That's why my bus was late, but I hope that person was okay. To wrap up the story, anyway, I was in the CVS, and this Asian lady, she looked at me, and this is a highlight of Trump. This is when all those people were doing that violence against Asians, right? She looked at me, and I think I was doing something, and I had my water bottle, and she goes, "Is that your water bottle?" I was like, "Oh, thank you." So I picked up my water bottle, right? And she goes, "Ew." And she backed away from me like I was dirt, She goes, "Excuse me," and looked down on me. I was like, whatever. Even though campaigns were going on TV talking about don't be showing hate to Asians and all this sort of stuff, that she did it. I was like, okay, it stops with me, man. It's kind of ironic. But anyway, kind of shocking about that guy, and I hope he's okay. And at least he's responsible to know that his seizures are bad enough in which, he needed to take the bus. But, anytime you're dealing with any type of public transportation, you are part of a group. And if something happens with one person it's going to affect you. That's just part of public transportation. That's just, like anything in life. Anytime you're part of a group, it's going to affect you. You're known by the people you keep, the company you keep, and that's just part of life. That's just part of the give and take of public transportation, I guess, or being of any group. Anyway, I'll wrap to y'all later. I'm just wrapping this up, and I hope y'all have a great day. All right, peace.